Now I want to show you a few things to do as far as setup before the meet begins. If I go to setup, to meet setup, this is the information that's basic to the meet. It lists the name of the meet, the facility, the address, the first day of the meet, when entries are open, when the meet ends, when entry closed. This is in particular a senior open meet. It's done ID USA swimming format. But I want to show you one thing down here. There are two things right here in the lower right-hand corner. Number one is DQ codes. The USA Swimming, that's USA-S DQ codes, November 2013, as of this video, are the most up-to-date codes. The other codes, they're custom codes, they're FINA codes, they're UK codes, they're old USA Swimming codes, but you want to make sure you're set to the most recent codes. This will help you when you have to enter DQ slips, but you want to be most recent. The second thing you want to make sure of is that the time adjustment method is FINA rules. There was an old way of doing it prior to May 2016, but this button needs to be checked so that we appropriately adjust times. So that's something worth checking whenever you come to a meet and begin to work on the computer. Report preferences. There are two things I'll show you here. One is typically we list athletes with their last name first. This particular meet right now shows athlete middle initial. Sometimes that's probably not too important, but you can either put it in or not. Everything else, for the most part, I leave blank. The next three tabs are not particularly important, but the last one is important to show you how to set up the printer. So if you click this, it's going to ask for two setups, one for reports and the other for labels. Usually for a meet, you're going to use the same printer for both. If I click on what printer, I currently am not set up to a printer, but if I were plugged into a printer, it would have that printer as an option here. It sort of identifies it and puts it into the list. So I'm just going to say, for argument's sake, that the Microsoft Print to PDF is the name of the printer. I do not like to check Print directly for reports. I want to see the report on the screen, and then I want to click the print icon. I want to look at the report first. I usually like to keep these as one. If I want more than one of any particular report, I can just select the number as I'm printing it. So I like to keep all of this as one, and of course I want it to collate. Same thing over here for labels. Select the appropriate printer, collate, and one copy, and not check the print directly. So that's how you select the printer. I'm going to show you with a report. I'm just going to go back to a meet program. I'm going to select all and just create this report. So we basically set up a printer to be used directly. And that's what this top print line is for with all the reports. You can select how many copies you want, 5, 10, whatever. If you click this, it will print to the printer that we just selected in the setup. Alternatively, and we'll print the whole program. You can't print one page this way. Let's say you only want one page, that for whatever happened, the rest of the meet program isn't important, but you just need a page one. Then you would want to go down to this printer. You'd actually want to select the appropriate printer that's here. You may just want one page, the first page. You may want 10 copies of it. You want to collate, well, in this case we're only doing one, but you'll decide if you want to collate, you'll apply it, and then you'll print it. So there are two different ways to print. One is more directly, and one is like you're used to on your computer. As far as the rest of the setups, there'll be Meet Mobile stuff, seating preferences, all of that. That will all be set up by the Meet management, and you really don't know how to do it. Need to know how to do that. But I do suggest always checking to make sure the DQ codes are correct and the FINA rules are okay, and to make sure that the printer is set up, and that's under Report Preferences, the printer options.